with my background in engineering, one of the biggest things that I look for is, most people kind of look at the finishes and the drywall and all that. I'm looking at more of the framing and, the skeleton, so to speak, that makes up the house. And that was the big thing. And one of the things that really drove me was just how clean the site was. And that really tells me a lot about the builder, what he provides and how he kind of runs his crews and his expectations. So that was one of the big things that I looked for. Was, the layout was really what kind of drove us to the house. It had we've got 3 kids at home. So we wanted something that we could, call a family home, where we could bring the kids home. Had a great kitchen and living room combined, had bedrooms on the first floor, several bedrooms up on the second floor. And that's really what drove her. But again, like I said, I was looking for, the structure of the house and that kind of stuff. Yeah, the integrity part, really what drove me is when we spoke. I work with a lot of contractors every day. And I can kind of tell when someone is telling me the truth, especially when it comes from a builder. So that's kind of what drove us to work with you in the beginning. And then Melissa, with her background, we had a lot of questions. It got really nervous especially when you're purchasing something big. Or, we have a starter home and we're moving up into a nicer house, and we really need somebody to support us. And she was able to answer all of our questions and work with us, and we felt really comfortable with your technical background and all that. There was a lot of sleepless nights, but it was nice knowing that we had somebody in our corner to work with us, and that really said a lot about both you and your wife. So choices can be overwhelming, right? You get into it and it's really hard to figure out exactly what it is that you want. But what's been really great working with you is the fact that you've helped us say, well, maybe not pick this option or versus this option, or here's the pros of this option, here's the cons of that, and then kind of help us narrow it down, because it is so overwhelming. When you're building a house, there's so many selections, so many choices that we could spend days, weeks, but you really helped us kind of narrow that down to a few options for us. I think a lot of it's your professionalism. We're working with you on this. We can, like I said, we can sleep well at night knowing that we've got somebody that's looking out after the house. They can point out issues that, again, in the early stages when we first spoke, you were pointing out things that I didn't notice, even with my background. I felt like we're in good hands. I've texted you. We've had conversations at 8:30 at night. Several times. And I had a question and I'd be freaking out, and you kind of like, it's okay, we can work through this. So you've always been available. If I call you and you're in a meeting, I always get a text message right away saying, hey, I'll call you right back. So it's been very, very beneficial.
I think
you worry about the kids. You want to make sure that, they're transitioning into somewhere new, because it's a new school, everything's new. And, I have a son, and any change that happens, it kind of freaks him out. But through this whole process, we kind of slowly introduced him to the house. He's come over several times, and the kids are just loving the experience, just going through it, and we're having them help pick out things as we go along. And I think part of that really, helps in that process.